You might remember Angry Birds, but do you know the Angry Bee? Welcome back everyone. Today we are buzzing around literally with possibly the strangest aircraft I have ever flown, the Starr Bumble Bee II. And yes, this tiny angry little thing actually exists, not only in real life but in the Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Apparently some developer just decided to recreate that thing. And here it is, built by World War II veteran Robert H. Starr. It holds the Guinness World Record for the smallest piloted airplane back in 1988, you know, the good days. It flew exactly 3 times, crashed dramatically, but thankfully Mr. Starr lived to tell the tale. It's small, it's adorable, and it crashes more often than the sim itself. Well, given its high stall speed of 75 knots and a wingspan of about the height of Jonah Hill, no wonder that it crashed. So let's recreate that questionable achievement in the Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. This is in fact my second time in my whole life that I will be controlling a bee. The first time was back in 1998. Remember Buck Bumble on the Nintendo 64? Well, here you were controlling a bee with weapons that could actually fly. Now here comes the big question. Can we fly this bee in the Flight Sim 2020? Let's take a look at some of the instruments we have in the cockpit. We have thrust levers, mixture and flaps. We also have a vertical speed indicator, an airspeed indicator, a fuel gauge which holds 3 US gallons, which is not really much, an RPM and an engine temperature gauge, and on the right you have this M/P inches mercury gauge, which you would think of as an altimeter. Unfortunately, this is not the case. This thing measures the engine pressure, not the environmental pressure. Okay, so how would you know how high you are actually flying? Well, basically you don't, unless you have these wristband altimeters which skydivers use to determine how high they are actually flying. We are here at the fly-by-wire training site. Flaps are set, flight controls are checked. Let's just put full power and release the parking brake. Let's see how this thing actually flies. Now remember, stall speed of 75 knots, which means we need to accelerate much more than that to actually take off. As you can see, we are accelerating very slowly. Let's actually pull back on the side stick slightly and we took off. By the way, this thing has a climb rate of 4,500 feet per minute. I don't exactly know how this is actually possible. And even a ceiling of 14,000 feet. So let's do a right turn. We're actually still very slow. Well, as you can see, turns are making us even descend. Okay, let's put the nose down a little bit, accelerate even more, and that's it. Okay, this thing definitely failed us. Okay, seriously, let's try that again. Let's do an actual real traffic pattern. We are above the stall speed again. Let's pull back slightly on the side stick. And we are airborne. I'm gonna put the flaps up right away. Okay, we are accelerating, which is good. We are not barely climbing, and the flaps completely up. Now we are accelerating again. Let's do a left turn. This looks good. There's the airport. We are descending, which is not good. Okay, we overshot the runway by a lot. Never mind, we are gonna make it. Let's put the flaps down. Okay, this looks good. Now try to flare somehow. And we crashed. This was 1,200 feet per minute. Okay, so how did it actually look from the outside? Let's take a look. And now look. Whoop. Gone. Okay, I'm gonna try this one last time. I'm gonna try to accelerate to 90 knots and then actually climb. Like right now. Flaps up. Decrease the throttle a little bit and flaps full. Let's actually try to butter one landing, at least one. Pitch up, pitch up, pitch up. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Come on, you can do that. And power. Okay. Another hard landing. How much was that? 516. Well, at least better than the first one. I think buttering this is almost impossible. Okay, let's try our next location, a runway with a downslope. There are two that come to mind immediately, Courchevel and Lucla. Let's try Courchevel. I read that this one does not like high altitude, but we will do it anyway. Let's release the parking brake, full power, and let's go. By the way, controlling the rudder is extremely hard. And now let's just jump out of the runway. Try to actually gain some speed and just enjoy this beautiful view. Well, the thing is, I don't think that we can actually land in Courchevel anymore. We descended a lot and I don't think that we can actually gain that much altitude again. But let's try anyway. Okay, we are stalling and that's it. See what I mean? 75 knots of stall speed and we are going down. That's it. Now we look at this down slope. Seriously, we need to be very fast at this time. But still no gaining of speed. And then this bump. Seriously, I dare you to try to take off from Courchevel and try to land again successfully. Doesn't really matter how hard the landing is. Just take off from Courchevel and try to land. Okay, next try. Even with a downhill, we can barely... yeah, that's it. Now watch the bee just jump out of the hill. Whoop! There she comes. And there she goes. Okay, one final try. We might actually had a little bit too much flaps. Let's put the flaps to the first position. Let's try this field. There's a field. Yes, this looks promising, to be honest. Okay, power is now almost cut. Oh, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. Yep. Now what's the next best thing to do a takeoff from? Of course, helipads. I mean, what could go wrong, right? Static takeoff and release the brakes. Let's see how this goes. And of course, as expected. Can we try to... Nope. It's not possible. Okay, let's slew ourselves up to a rooftop building which has a little bit more surface area, right? This one right here, Paul Hastings. Let's see how this goes. And we are going down. Now let's... Okay, these stutters are not helping. Well, if you know me, I'm not the one to give up that easy. Clear weather and full power again. I'm gonna now retract the flaps while we are going down, just to see if we can gain a little bit more speed and lift. Maybe now flaps up, more speed, and flaps down even more, and we did it. We just did it. Unbelievable. Okay, that's it. I'm going back to airlines. Okay, let's take a look at the replay of the actually working takeoff. And we're going down, 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 down. You see that? It actually worked. We didn't touch anything. Yeah, well then of course after that we crashed anyway. I think it was because of the stutters. I'm pretty sure it was because of the stutters. Alright, here you have it. Probably the most challenging aircraft to fly in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. You can download that at flightsim.io and get your own impression. Link will be in the description, but beware the stall speed. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend and fly safe. I'm sorry, I meant be safe. Okay, that's too much.